And I was not allowed to tell anyone I was Jewish.
And somehow I never let go of my weapon.
I'm a Negro, and I'm very
But
proud.
I remember the feeling that it left.
We were at dinner. It was November and it was cold, and it was peaceful for the moment. And then all hell broke loose. All the windows were broken at the same time, and guns were going off, and it was just awful, awful, awful noise. And we put our coats on, went across, and we went in the root cellar, and we smelled smoke, and Dad said, "Here goes our house." And it was cold, and it was damp, and my little sister was born. She was about 3.5 months old. And the great aunt lived with us, and she was complaining. There was no light. And I could feel the tension between Mom and Dad. I could feel how concerned they were. And, you know, no light, cold. It was very, very frightening. And we watched for daylight. And as soon as we saw daylight, we walked back to our house, and it was totally destroyed. There was nothing left, absolutely nothing left. The pictures of the wall, the bedding was cut open, all the dishes were destroyed, everything, and they're taking the clothes out of the closet. And years ago, you didn't have cans, so you preserved vegetables and food in jars. And they had opened all the jars and poured it on the clothes. So you can imagine the mess there was. It was just unbelievable. And my parents just stood there. And of course, my brother and I were crying, you know, we were frightened. And finally, Dad decided that maybe it just happened in our little town. And he suggested that we go to Kassel, which is the next largest town. And we sort of cleaned ourselves up and we walked down the street. And I want you to know, nobody, but nobody came and said, "Are you okay? Is there anything we can do for you?" We saw them peeking behind the curtains. In order to get to the train station, we had to go past our synagogue, our house of worship. And we realized why we smelled smoke. They had destroyed all prayer books, all prayer shawls, and they were in the middle of the yard, and they were set on fire and they were burning.